The JoLynn Braley Show, Episode 59, How to Love Your Body Without Chocolate on Valentine's Day. Welcome. This is JoLynn Braley, weight loss mindset expert, the FAT release coach, and I am founder of the Inner Self Diet, my proven proprietary step-by-step mentoring system to permanent weight loss. And this is the JoLynn Braley Show. On today's show, we are going to go beyond the food to the real issue, which is your mindset. Your mindset is 90% of the challenge of achieving struggle-free, lasting success with your weight. If you never solve the problem, if you never heal the root of why you became overweight in the first place, then you will continue to struggle with food and your fat for the rest of your life. You can't not struggle if you never become fit, healthy, and slender on the inside. You must be that on the inside if you ever want to be that and have it last on the outside and have it be without struggle on the outside. That does not mean that you don't take action. That's not what it means at all. What it means is that when you take the action to live a healthy and fit lifestyle, it's no longer a back and forth ping pong match. It's no longer a kind of black and white or self-sabotaging way of making yourself diet and then binge eating and going back and forth with weight gain and weight loss. That is not what is the result of a weight loss mindset. At least that's not the result of a core solid weight loss mindset, which is what my clients get in the Inner Self Diet. So let's move on to today's episode, which is how to love your body without chocolate on Valentine's Day. This is a podcast light episode, which means that my goal is to keep this under 15 minutes, and if I can do that, then that's awesome. That's what I'm shooting for, just to try something different out. Now, there are, over 50 episodes of the JoLynn Braley Show that have 20 to 30 minutes. Some of them are longer than 30 minutes. You can digest and listen to all those. I'm just throwing in a couple podcast light episodes to do something different for now. Oh, and before we move on to today's topic, let me first make sure that I tell you about the fact that you can go to fearlessfatloss.com and you can apply for a complimentary weight loss discovery session, which is your first step towards struggle-free, lasting success with your weight. But it is only for you if you are serious about putting all of your food and weight struggles behind you. If you are a person who is just looking to try something else or dip in a toe, or you're looking for some kind of a magical miracle cure that includes no work on your part, then the Inner Self Diet is not for you. The Inner Self Diet is only for those people who are bright, smart, committed, serious, and willing and excited about leaving their ongoing struggles with food and their fat behind them. Leaving the binge eating, the yo-yo dieting, the self-sabotage, the emotional eating, the food obsessions, all of that, putting all of that behind you so that you can just live a healthy lifestyle without having it be a big frickin' deal. If that's you, and if you would love to stop asking yourself, why am I so smart? Why am I so successful? Except in this area of my body, except in the area of my weight. If you'd love to stop asking yourself that question, then go to fearlessfatloss.com/call and apply now. I'll talk to you on the phone. It will actually be me talking to you, and I want to hear more about where you are and where you'd love to be and what exactly you're doing and what's stopping you and what would transform for you in all areas of your life if you could just get this food and weight problem under control and heal it and release it and be done with it. All right, so let's go on to today's topic, how to love your body without chocolate on Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, by the way. This is being recorded on February 14th, and Valentine's Day can be a real challenge for millions of people if you're single and if you would like to be in a romantic relationship. Now, add on top of that, if you're also an emotional eater, if you're overweight, if you abuse food, if you abuse yourself, if you don't feel good about yourself, and you're single, or especially, wow, what if you've recently been through a breakup? Valentine's Day is pretty heavily loaded then. And it's one of those days that so many people have all of these expectations about. Here's another possibility. Maybe you are in a romantic relationship and you have all of these expectations, and maybe your boyfriend or your husband didn't do what you expected. Now, here's something that I didn't mean to talk about today, but it just came to me, so there has to be someone out there who needs to hear this, because that's where many inspirations come from. I get inspirations and downloads from Source Energy because there is someone out there who needs to hear what I am sharing. Just notice if your husband or boyfriend, or if you're a man, if you're talking about your girlfriend or wife, or if you're gay, and you have a partner, whatever. Let's say you've got a romantic partner, whoever you are. If they did not do what you expected for Valentine's Day, did you ever communicate to them your expectation? Or have you expected them to read your mind? Communication is it is one of the biggest components of a healthy relationship. And actually, what's very interesting is that when my clients do the work and do the steps, the proven action steps in the Inner Self Diet, and when I coach them and mentor them through all the steps, one of the key things that they learn is how to communicate effectively with themselves. And once they learn how to do that, then that effective, clear communication translates into their relationships with all other people in their lives. Not just romantic relationships, but with their children, their coworkers, their boss, if they have employees or they have clients, friends. If you don't know how to communicate effectively with yourself, then how can you ever communicate effectively with others? So that's just a bonus there, something to notice about yourself, because you're setting yourself up for a failure if you're expecting other people to read your mind. It's just not going to work. And then add on top of that, being an emotional eater, being overweight, and abusing food. And so then you're sitting there in a soupy pie of bad feeling, negative emotions, stuffing yourself with chocolate on Valentine's Day. Is that a good way to love your body? So, first of all, a way to love your body without chocolate on Valentine's Day is, let's go through these really fast here because I'm looking at the time and I said that this is going to be a podcast light episode. Number 1, what's something fun that you can do for yourself today that doesn't include chocolate? Do you like walking? Do you have a dog? Can you take your dog for a walk? What if you were to just get moving and get out there and move your body for 30 minutes today? Or if that's too much, what about for 10 minutes? Instead of sitting there feeling bad about yourself and feeling bad about your body. If you can just get in motion and get moving, what will that do for you? It might sound like a small thing, but I've had many clients who one of their biggest goals was to get back to taking a walk, a 30-minute walk each day. It's so easy to be out there running around in your life like a chicken with your head cut off, never making any time for yourself, and then fitting in a 30-minute walk each day can feel like the biggest challenge in the world. But then if you don't do this for yourself, or if you don't do anything for yourself, which is another huge challenge that my clients have before working with me, you're always doing everything for everybody else, but if you never take time for yourself and you don't even care for yourself and you don't love your own body, and then you try to compensate by stuffing yourself with food, what exactly do you have to give to anyone else if you don't even like yourself? And here's another point about how to love your body without chocolate on Valentine's Day. Recognize that love is not a passive thought. It is an action. It is your actions that you're taking right now, day after day after day, that demonstrate how much love you have for yourself and for your body. Words and thoughts are not enough. How many women out there are in abusive relationships with men who hit them but tell them the words, "I love you"? How is that any different than the abuse that you give your body and the abuse that you do to yourself by binging on chocolate and binging on negative emotions and negative thoughts about yourself? Those are actions. And those are not actions of love, are they? So one other thing that you can do to love your body without chocolate on Valentine's Day is, what if you were to recognize that your negative, unhealthy behaviors are your choice? Even if they are ingrained, programmed patterns that you have running unconsciously in your mindset, which, yes, then it makes it very hard to stop them. If you were to at least accept for yourself that these are your behaviors are your choice, what would that do for you? For example, if you were to say to yourself, "I choose to stuff myself with these 2 bags of chocolate today on Valentine's Day," that's very different than sitting there feeling sorry for yourself, hating everybody else, or feeling jealous of other people, or feeling bad about your fat on your body and all these things. If you were to step into your choice, what will that do for you? It doesn't mean that you've even changed. It just means that you're changing when I say it doesn't mean you've changed, it means that you haven't changed the core of you haven't changed your behaviors. But if you were to just simply recognize that everything you do and everything you think, those are your choices. There's no little green man behind the curtain of your mind who's making you do things. If you step into your choice, how can you possibly be disempowered? You can't be, can you? So those are 3 ways, 3 things you can do to love your body without chocolate today on Valentine's Day. And of course, let's say you're listening to this and it's not Valentine's Day. It doesn't have to be Valentine's Day for you to do any of these options. So let's wrap up today's show. By the way, to get a shout out from me on the JoLynn Braley Show, go to thejolynnbraleyshow.com. Click like to like our Facebook page, and I'll give you a shout out with your first name on an upcoming episode. And also, be sure and subscribe to the show in iTunes. It's completely free to subscribe, and you will immediately get the new shows when they come out. And also, please do give us a 5-star review and rating on iTunes. We would love to hear what your biggest aha is from listening to the JoLynn Braley Show. I do firmly believe that this is a 5-star show. We are going beyond what 95% never go beyond. What you have been fed your whole life is that all you need to do is another new fad diet or another exercise program. If that were the only solution, if that were all that you needed, why are you still struggling? Why is it so hard for you to do the healthy diet and the healthy exercise program? What exactly is the problem? The problem is your mindset. That's 90% of your problem. 10% of your problem and 10% of the solution is the healthy eating and exercise plan. Those steps, the eating and exercise, yes, they are important, but they're only 10% of it. If it was easy for you to do that, why would you be listening to me right now? Yeah, good question, right? Okay, next week's episode, when exactly is enough enough? That will be a Get Real episode of the JoLynn Braley Show. Thank you so much for listening today. This is JoLynn Braley, the FAT Release Coach, weight loss mindset expert, founder of the Inner Self Diet. You have been listening to the JoLynn Braley Show. Go on over to fearlessfatloss.com to learn more. You can apply for a complimentary weight loss discovery session there. That is not for toe dippers, for people who are not committed to themselves and not serious. If that's you, if that's where you are right now, it doesn't mean you're a bad person. That's where you are. And if that's where you are, then just go ahead and grab my free 5-day e-course, which will help you discover more about your mindset, find out what's really been stopping you from losing weight for good and what you can do about it. And you can also grab that at fearlessfatloss.com. Here's to your best life in your ideal body.